That's so brilliant! This video is sponsored by Case Filters. Hi my friends, very good morning. I'm on the same road trip as in my last video, and to be honest it's quite difficult to find a place to sleep with my van, so I stayed beside a quite high frequented road. You can't see the van anymore, but however yeah, I didn't sleep all much to be honest, but that doesn't really matter. The thing is, I'm going to photograph a quite interesting spot with lots of big rocks and waterfalls, and yeah, the problem is actually that there will come lots of people today. I'm sure about that. So the idea is to come early enough as it is, and yeah, to take maybe 2 or 3 photographs before all the people come or so. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is possible, but I would say let's see what's possible here. What a place! It's so fantastic here. All these mossy boulders and the water. And by the way, I hope you can hear me. It's so loud here. It's amazing. And the thing is, I got attracted by this log over there, this diagonal from the left top to the bottom right, and these twin waterfalls back there, which also a third one makes a diagonal in that direction, so it gives a nice balance here. And I also use this rock in the foreground at the right bottom. It looks really fantastic, and I like the spray, how the water splashes everywhere and so on. I gave it a little bit of room to the left, and the plants at the left hand side growing up there, it's really beautiful, so fantastic. And I have got my long lens on because yeah, I have to zoom in quite a lot. I'm here at around about 140 millimeters, circular polarizer on. Important is not to kill the glare totally, so it's really important to have a little bit of glare on the log because it really gives a plasticity to the image. And important to consider here is that the dynamic range of the camera is not enough. The water is quite bright, and we have also dark areas, lots of shadows, and yeah, I need to exposure bracket to make different exposures with different exposure levels. And I also need to focus check, yeah, the boulder, the foreground is quite close to us, and the log and the waterfall is much more back there. So yeah, lots of images to take just to check them together. And I would say let's make the click, or the clicks in this case. It is amazing. Time is flying. It took me already 1 hour for the first waterfall here. It is amazing. So I would say let's head over to the next waterfall before all the people come. It's quite a bit cold here, I have to say. Quite cold wind, which goes from back there through the gorge down there, and yeah, it's really cold here. Now, I found one more composition, and I'm really super happy with this one. And yeah, it's all about the boulders down there with all the mosses up there. And yeah, I love the log here at the left top corner, what goes into the frame. We have these twin waterfalls here at the right hand side, and at the left side we have also this little waterfall coming down there, and the pool up there, and this little pool down there. And a quite important thing is, it's not a good idea in most of the cases trying to get everything into your frame, because it's quite messy down there in the foreground. So what I do is I cut the right hand waterfalls a little little bit, and I emphasize more the waterfall at the left-hand side. And yeah, this image is really all about the boulders back there, this depth we get there, and the boulders with the mosses up there catch the light also in a really fantastic way. And we bring this all out with the circular polarizer. I'm at f16 to get everything pinched up in our photograph. It would also be possible to focus stack, use f8 or something like that, but yeah, then I would have to take lots of images and do, you know, exposure bracketing, focus stacking and so on. It's better when you get everything in one shot, and f16 is really not a problem at all. I can go up to f18 even on this lens. It's a G master lens of Sony, so it's really not a problem at all. The only problem we anyway get is with f16 at ISO 100 I come up to 5 seconds exposure time, but too much, because when we photograph water with such a long exposure time, we don't get any structure anymore in, and this is not what we want to have. We want to have structure. So what I do is I make a second exposure for the water with ISO 1250 even, I think. So I would say let's make the click. Amazing, another hour has gone. Yeah, I arrived at 6 o'clock, now it's 8 o'clock. I think it will not take all too much. The first visitors here, the first people arrive, but it's also a problem with the weather. When you look up there, I'm not sure if you can see that, we have blue skies, so everything is harsh light up there. I think maybe in 2 hours or so we have also harsh light down here, so fingers crossed that we will find one more composition. Let's go. I found one more composition, and I climbed up to this boulder here to have this nice view to this waterfall back there. And interesting is it comes in back there and it goes down there, and the water runs below the rocks down there. It's really fantastic. And what I like is this boulder, actually, this big boulder, that blocks the view back to the waterfall, actually. So, and this is the reason why I took quite a lot of this big boulder into my frame. First of all, I thought it would get unbalanced, but then I found a way to balance it. The boulder down there, it goes a little bit more in that direction. We also have this curve here, what is quite prominent, which I use also as a leading line. So it brings it a little bit back to balance. I often mention this in my waterfall videos that I don't always want to bring the image totally in balance. The water is loud, it's crashing down. It's so good when we bring it a little bit out of balance. And this boulder here, that's such a fantastic story I'm so happy about. And I'm in portrait orientation, so I get a lot of depth into my frame. I also get these flowers down there into my frame. There's a little anchor. And the woodland back there with all the other boulders. So it's a story all about the boulders and the water carving through all these boulders down. It's so amazing, it's so fantastic. I'm at 35 millimeters ISO 100 just for the land. It's interesting, we always call it a long exposure, but long exposure is always for the land. For the water I try to get something like an 1/8 of a second, to get a little bit of structure in. And I would say, let's make the click. The sun came already up, harsh light here, but yeah, in the gorge down there we still have there and where a little bit of shadow, so I think we can work with that, and no people at all so far. I would say this down there looks really fantastic. I think I will look down there and try for something. I found some possibilities here, but I'm not convinced. I mean, it would be an advantage to have wellies with me. I don't have one. I have some in my van, but yeah, you know, it's quite far to walk here and quite high up, and lots of climbing, and so I feel a little bit more comfortable with my hiking boots. I think I will ditch this waterfall here. I think a little bit higher up is something else. But yeah, anyway, it's really beautiful here. I'm really enjoying this morning out here. I don't have words for really. It is amazing. I think it's quite over with the sun, because when you look back there, we have a really harsh light here on this boulder. I got the shot already. Let me show you. Ooh, it's quite difficult here to walk around. So we have this nice brook here, and these cascades back there, and these rocks, these boulders here also in the foreground. And a quite funny thing is I'm quite close to this foreground. That's I wouldn't say a beginner's mistake, so it's not a mistake, but when you photograph with a phone, you tend to go quite close to elements and get an amazing depth. And that's not a problem at all with the phone, because the sensor is that small that everything gets really sharp from the distance to the front. And yeah, it simply doesn't work with the camera, because on the full frame camera, also an APC and even my Micro Four Thirds, the sensor is too big, so we have to focus stack. And the bigger the sensor, the bigger the problem actually. So I think I have to focus stack here with 6 focus points to get everything pin sharp. And yeah, I mean, the pool in the foreground is also fantastic. It gets a fantastic pattern. We get from the dark to the bright water here, and the cascades up there, and the water in the distance is quite bright, and this leads us back, this draws the viewer's eyes, and that's really, really fantastic. So I made the click already, and I would say I will show it to you right now. Absolutely like waterfalls like that, gorges like that. And originally I had planned to visit one more gorge like that near here, but unfortunately I feel a pain in my knee. You know, I had a knee injury more than 2 years ago now. I still have problems with it. I don't think it's a big deal, so I think it needs a little bit of a rest. I hiked around a lot over the last days, and yeah, I'm not sure. We will see if I will make one more trip here in the next days. It was so enjoyable here to photograph this morning, and also to look at all these waterfalls. And my friends, I hope you also enjoyed this video. If yes, please give me a thumb up. I picked out this video here for you to watch next. And I thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.